Die finansiële kenner Bastien Trelcat kuier vanoggend saam om oor buitelandse beleggings te gesels en hy gaan met ons die top 7 dinge deel wat jy moet weet rakende hierdie proses. So good morning Bastine and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, thanks for the invitation.
Just as an introduction, I would like to ask you to give us a little bit more information regarding your background and just tell us where exactly you're situated because you are operating worldwide.
Right, so I am an attorney at law registered with the Paris Bar Association and registered as a foreign attorney with the Hong Kong Bar Association. I'm a partner at Harvey Group since 2014. Harvey Group has about 23 offices on 4 different continents, and the group has been existing since 1992.
Mm-hmm. And you've studied in France, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. I did my law school in France, in Aix-en-Provence, to be accurate. Mm-hmm. And when I was about to graduate from my law school, I heard about an exchange program with the Hong Kong University. And that was about the time where China was joining the WTO back in 2000, 2001. And I felt like there was going to be a geographical area with a lot of economic potential and a lot of jobs to be created, especially for long years. So I enrolled into a Master of International Business Law at the City University of Hong Kong in 2002, which I got in 2003. And I was going to go back to France to take the bar examinations, which I succeeded. And when I got my articling in France on the first day, that firm had an office in Beijing, and they asked me if I wanted to move back to China. And without a slightest hesitation, I said yes. And 6 months after, they put me back on a flight to Beijing, where I stay for the next 9 years.
Mm-hmm. That's a very interesting background you've got there. So we'll get to the top 7 things that we need to know about investment immigration a little bit later. Yes, I think that's it for now. Stay tuned for the rest of the interview.
Yes, I'm curious because I want to move my money overseas.
Ons gaan voort met vanoggend se gesprek met die finansiële kenner Bastien Trelcat wat vanoggend saamkuier om oor buitelandse beleggings te gesels en hy gaan dan ook met ons die top 7 dinge deel wat jy moet weet rakende hierdie proses. So good morning again from my side Bastien and thanks again for joining us this morning.
Good morning again. Thanks for inviting me.
Good. So let's take a look at those 7 things that you would like to point out. The first thing is normal immigration versus investment immigration.
Sure. Normal immigration is an immigration where you as an individual would like to move to a new country, mostly to take a new job or to send your kids to school. Versus an investment immigration is a type of immigrations where a person will make an investment to move to a country or to enjoy the benefit as being a resident or a citizen of that country. The investment immigration is a popular trend right now in the world. Every continent has now investment immigrations program because they want to attract foreign capital. They want to attract successful entrepreneurs. They want to attract high executives who want to expand their business overseas. And as investment immigration applicants, you will be treated differently as in a better way, of course, because you're going to make an economic contribution to the new country. This means that in practice, the processing time versus a normal immigrant would be much faster. And usually the benefits that you would enjoy would also be much greater.
Mm. You refer to investment immigration as all about family. Why?
Simply because I would say 90% of our clients are successful businessmen or entrepreneurs or high executives who have kids. And they want to give their kids, I would say, a better international exposure than the one they have in their home country. And kids' education is something that, especially when you discuss with your wife, is something you cannot really compromise. So whenever you have the chance to send your kids overseas to, for instance, powerhouses like education powerhouses like Canada, US, Australia, or UK, it's really something that you would do very, very voluntarily and very quickly. And by making an investment in the country, in most countries, you will be considered as a local. And as such, you will benefit from tuition fees applied to locals. So if I take, for instance, a family of 4, there's 2 kids of 10 and 30 years old, that's paying international tuition fees, let's say in South Africa, and wants to move to Canada. You're going to make an investment there. You will receive your work permit and then your permanent residency card. You will be treated as a Canadian person. And as such, you are no longer going to pay the tuition fees applied for international students. So if you multiply this saving that you just made per number of kids, per number of years of study, it's actually, by making the investment, you're saving money on your kids' education.
Bastien, Journée, the other presenter now, or in French, Journée. I just want to find out, if I look at the kind of money, I think it's about 6-7 million rand to go with this investment. And, I've been to a place like Budapest. That will be my first choice. And it's basically all over the world. But there's also some exotic islands, small islands that gives you and offer you the same deals, or countries like Portugal that's a bit cheaper. Is it very popular, the exotic places, compared to safer places like Canada, America, or like Hungary?
I would say those are 2 different products. Caribbean islands, Vanuatu in the Pacific, and a few other countries grant their citizenship if you make an investment or a donation to the local government. And as such, you will receive in about 3 to 6 months the citizenship and the passport of this country. We don't see a lot of our clients relocating to those islands because simply they are far away, and most of our clients have retained some local businesses. And I would say, those are resort type island. There's not a lot of, there's business opportunities, but not so much. Accordingly, you will use a second passport for the ease of traveling, of mobility. Let's say you are a successful business person in South Africa, and tomorrow you need to attend a business meeting in Paris, in London, in Australia, or somewhere else. You can just use your second passport and book your tickets. That's the ease of travel. The other, and this is actually becoming extremely popular, St. Kitts and Nevis is a federation of 2 islands in the...
Ek dink ons het ons
And then 4 other islands decided to use the exact same program from, let's say, 2013 to the last one was St. Lucia in 2016. And they're attracting now hundreds, if not thousands, of applicants every year. The second option is more what I call the relocation options. If you make an investment in those countries, what you're going to get first is a residency card, which is temporary or permanent. And only after you have spent a minimum number of years in that country will you be eligible to citizenship. Those countries are most of European countries. They are also include Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, and some other countries as well, like Portugal, Spain, Cyprus, Greece, and so on.
Yes. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but I would just like to refer to some of the other things on this list, or the top 7 things. I mean, you also have to take the application duration, according to you now, the popular destinations for South Africans, as well as immediate benefits of being a resident or citizen of a new country, the exclusion clause, and to work with someone with a proven track record into consideration. So, but thank you so much for sharing, your insight with us this morning. And yes, I'm sure that we've learned a couple of things here. Dit was dan Bastien Trelcat. Thank you so much.
And have a nice day.
Thank you.
Kom ons gaan groei.